papa you be rasa games ni mu ni nyina no hu de ko ne de ba Ali enya only 2 points na 2 points no munya no $2 million ena mutimi de enya de aka aye omo $9.5 million no na the thing say goals a obehye bia so no wo hu scared be ma de but the specific amount in terms of resource no eno na maka e de atrew no e wo no omo afrim yes omo afrim FC Porto so afrim Andra Atletico Madrid the film do omunya 6 points head to head no we na so mehwe e goals difference na wo hwe goals am consider ti aye Paris Saint-Germain no eno and ama aye Atletico Madrid for so adding afrim 2 European clubs are out of the competition already. Menoka say Ali so aye out. So these are the teams that are move from kakra ye de ho aye popo ye edema. Los Angeles for no so afrim. Los Angeles for no afrim. Honoma and also the woman no. Ti ye be rem near the resource na tumi abro we are. And Chelsea 1 p.m. Enzo Maresca kasa ye be rem or say obey changes. It's answer want to me allow one player on both 2 matches because the weather condition or say the weather condition no on finding excuses. He's telling us as it is. Say weather no shada nya papa. Intiama preparation for matches na very difficult. Any idea. Ti be room na ya hwe Chelsea matches no na other matches na aka no so me de ho popo ye be bro show no live on MYBET.AFRICA TV both Facebook and on YouTube. Tienie pa uko Facebook MYBET.AFRICA TV MYBET.AFRICA TV Facebook saso and yes streaming live biem street is watching ye we are streaming live ABN Radio 1 inti be bim yensa Facebook ni yes streaming dia fa tichel so ba uko YouTube dia be akọ MYBET.AFRICA TV MYBET.AFRICA TV bon say the end that screen is no MYBET MYBET.AFRICA TV on say na wo no so kama nti ye be hwe na de wo mu nyina no yotumi ede abramu no ukọ Telegram account na enye ize wo no ye di dwa kese edwa ye di wo no nye dwa keto akra Sports Arena Telegram account na Sports Arena SPORTS ARENA Sports Arena ewo uboremu ye Telegram account na emom TikTok no sports.arena.news sports.arena.news and I just say the videos ni ade nyina eko ndra me ko se Botafogo win or draw Bota who di Atletico Madrid as last minute ni bomb pa 1-0 and all the say betting because half time win PSG shema out of 4 almost say no yeah but we go again ene na bibia so atumi aiden akoye yenika come better education we are Papa Borum transfers no. Hey, I say getting for na catch Bayern Munich for some free on I tell to so call London. Obi say kind dey amati be more there. I Chelsea the Blues. Ti Bayern Munich from some MP baby. Na Bayern Munich mo me fa aye Raheem Sterling it's a winger bi amaku bi no more reject. Raheem Sterling is there. Umra me fa experience obetima be boa. Bundesliga no obetima be pop nyasa nketwa. Ayi kra so sa ho. Aye nkuku so ho mombra mefa nkuku ade na moje ese report no say hey Ganacho ene aye nkuku swap deal eno matlo ene yes report. I think we will go into that particular topic because I have generated a lot of conversation with social media and be expect say our conversation we na akọ social media no so na man for so akiro madwene in terms of the 2 players and swap deal no. Is it good or not? Ya be hwe say na ye de ho komo atumi e de aba. Eti wey ene chese afoforo ne aka ye de bebremu. Nti money man ye hwe ye man better education no. My bet for the before fraba na ndra me hu say me call my bet website me hu boost to be. E was do ase no e wo but boost no. E no ni sika na ase no was so ya cancel old one no. And ya new one kese ni ade no asechire ne sen game room
okay nti echia ya hwefo nyina say na o masamba be kan ho I mean, this sports content, Papa Pan, bro. Yeah, the sports content, Papa bro, dia. MYBET.AFRICA, and so I say, I might me at the abroad. Any so unregister MYBET team, and I register. Send your list to a boss, no boost now, who may explain actual. I didn't hear, yes, I register MYBET now, so to me, sa chance, no, so to me, we need to keep BR, and what's our boost side on. Tell www.mybet.africa. Ubo oko www.mybet.africa. Top right corner, icon be a circle ni green. Aswa. Ube say actual registration. Mia registration so registration is very simple. Ghana ha betting platform registration is simple. Say my bet. Inti 3 steps. First one your phone number. The audio mobile money transactions. Send ye would scanner ubetimi yi afa MYBET.AFRICA. Into ubo phone number ni shema. The next one your username. Username betimi a unique name mufie din bi apese we use to be a betimi dia show. By now the number ba ku mienu account send be man na unique. E bi apese we use Kwame ama kweku na bi obi use a platform ne so deda. Inti number now the be count ne be man na unique. Send ya won so betimi etimi a register ye. Inti the next one your password and no dey wa wonim the other be show. Oboshe ho wi a no emi a register ne so emi a register ne so pon be send verification code. Now they are verify your account. Now so aba be come MYBET ebusuano. And in Siwa, omoma 3 different options. I'll bet him their fiscal bet builder. And they say games name doors. In games name doors with 1 game, no bet me 10 selections. In 2 games, will cost what 7. Not 2 games, are cost what 1. To these 4 games, we bet me up to 40 selections if you move. And 40 options if you move. Now 40 options, no, now my bet for Sunday or more akabonus, Nasa and Kawama scanning more you do. Cash out, any partial cash out, and so games in the course no. Now we use can be now with the bees 2 bottom now with the beans so air share I'm a game now kone we ten I want to bet my fiscal and they'll be a FIFA Club World Cup now sure hobons are true boost now boost maybe 1.5 2.5 options a type ball it will games no more the bar but a boost maybe a 1.67 and then care or for that particular 1.5 and that particular 2.5 benny my bet for boostino into may year free 1.67 na ko 2 out amount send your sika no betimi adu nti odo nsa boss na no nso e de akọ bet slip na obetimi de twa ntene on person mo boa na kwan bia so an sika no betimi adu say 100 kwa na odi 2 echi a sika no betimi adu na ansa na matches ne beko na wie no nso etimi afisika eno na MYBET e boa ntene register na nso beka MYBET ebusua no
right register now so beka MYBET ebusua no na afi bibia enye de enkoye e wo honom. Yes. Yenremu ewo transfer news. Yenremu transfer news. It's a whole lot of stories. Trading. Edigua nesa. Yes. We share. Say. Gettings. Despite links with Bayern, Chelsea are still close to completing. Likely said the next 24
hours, 48 hours.
Yes. Yeah. Chelsea will get their man. Say Jumaba yeah so promising young player just a week few months ago he was basically playing e won so much say yeah obi pm e wo Rio say Man City assign no say or joining OJC needs development Darwin Nunes joining Napoli say or the ne word ama Napoli and which is nane one story I mean person yes so share Bradley Bakula after so started the season here come Kicha Karatelia by ebi 2 no na fi wonya bi mbo free bench na dey ba Emma Olusi ni bibia because he was basically holding the team front from the start of the season. Satana Dembele mukran so ano. Na boy na no che goals ni nyina. Afi goals ni nyina be da beti akọ. Ese PSG so mu nja no mane nko. Ye be hwe ho asem na yetumi aka ho no. Ene other transfers ni ade a ye betumi so ayedem. Edi ho enkomo tumi start Jokeres so no ho nsem so anti yen start.
Ma sha se mfi Jokeres ho na ene information e call abontin ni say or very disappointed in Sporting Lisbon decision on person who take care and they almost slow the transfers be bra air cost no because on your munya a gentleman agreement and air cost say okay season ni ko na wie ya na January mumpo na no person free but omo your madwen send the onbo na season ni ko na wie nti na me no so no o renew the contract no renew and there was a gentleman agreement between ono any sporting for and nothing or the sign is a new contract no you who players be money clubs are signing new contract based on say mube team release clause ne so and will be this amount ba munjai me mama nko and no be na Man United edinya akunya no nti that was the agreement on so the year no e de bo mama mutimi je o league title etimi bo mo modern e Portugal e the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool mu na be bo pool no ma hwese on betimi nya Victor Gyökeres aba be come one. But recent information of course no Sporting president na mobiati say one be trigger release clause na omo nyo madwin so omo jai manako. But the agreement was obi odi 58 and 60 beba no on betimi amanako enu nti na Gyökeres said depend see paper so sign more money eni yaba be ensem bibra the new development eba ni so omo mati said this season and a season yaba be we mu no kwan bia so no omo ton no man ton no Sporting team no mbobio into why not doing say training in Pono on conquer, but my intention now is say up a new chapter. We do that level at the age of 27, we do the prime. Or Felisa, this is the time so to me bought a bigger club, or to me run the Champions League, or to me run bigger competitions more. Into any Sporting for enjoying the crime and co. But who said because of Sporting for information about out, you know, clubs need to be at the likes of Arsenal won't take that connection beyond Chelsea more. Liverpool, Man United, in common biom. Interne why not doing say some more money nkwa ono so next season on ba emponi omumbe train and on ba emponi omumbe bobo. Interne and na in course, but I think Sporting for it was a bad decision from them because a player in doing so ko January now it mean need nkomo. Now the agreement is say oh boy I need intimin league no and a boy I need intimin do some milestone be no timi ginemo boy mo na afedie opeso movie about be asema yen kai say there's World Cup coming up on also so betimi pick good form into that World Cup and they obo top strikers 5 dia untimi in film
okay
because a lot of goals obetimi about 60 games in a season no share almost getting to 58 almost getting to 60 goals and now more until he's looking at playing a big club entering into those big competitions no etima about home I think as of now Sporting for no more money or pay a good transfer they can also benefit. Even they should look at other options. I think there was one player friend had now on and they said the second player.
Yeah, very good striker.
He's similar to Gyökeres style. They can invest and improve that boy. No one's waiting me about but I think as of now, I don't like the idea. Ubun say it will go to the wire. I take player any club be so be movie. I think when there's an agreement, they should like accept it and let the player go and ababe and send baby. But I think before the end of the transfer window, so he'll move from Sporting. But
where do you think he will end up?
As of now, the clubs somewhere are available. Some person motono and almost training bunny team mono. Omo 3. Oh Premier League, that's where he's targeting. Or share Arsenal. And no wababe can wabonti so nya Arsenal team no bebo. Man United na second one, but more Matthias say onye na dream so be movie ako Man United. Then the next club on so na munchen or monitor Liverpool because omoko bisa Isaac na Newcastle more Matthias say omuhu Isaac as the likes of Neymar mo level no, so they need to bring in money, so 150 170 200 million onye na dream so mo betu ade omunko intino. So if the money can be around 60 around 70 then Liverpool can also enter. But I think say Liverpool near Arsenal Rema, I think Arsenal would fit him more than the Liverpool setup. Yensha Gittins, you name him say player nama Dortmund for ati say quite be as no person about Chelsea. Now me who say particular information me need ye. I didn't make us and they said there are two clubs and they Gittins signature. That is Chelsea and Bayern Munich. About world footballer, Uji Spanish League. Real Madrid, Barcelona, omutuya ye papa. A German team, I friend Bayern, no team yiska etuya players. Inti se ba se player no ehwe say bia sika no hwe dia. Only Bayern call into the conversation unless maybe other club no. Enye sa pan dia wunya no. Yehu Nico Williams, Bayern for your margin so bet you up to 350,000 a week. But or energy so betting the salary akobo ama Barcelona. The same as Gittins. Bayern for scan commode man almost getting to 15 million a year. But Osha Chelsea siko babejia, it will be less than maybe Akosura into 10 million a year. But the boy is looking at coming to Chelsea. And no person my Chelsea fan be at he's a quality player. Very quality. Enzo Maresca style of winger or pen and Nubi na Gittins mount dribbling forward passes getting into the box in short accuracy or mount that Jadon Sancho ball na who or Chelsea no but no or the goals any short account yenim say Sancho ni who ne say bi obebo short free but Gittins e the side and account homa wa ebe ball mu ye ntino o share the transfer now it's just a 10 million 12 million nature clubs ni mo from senior Chelsea person tuya any dear Dortmund pay but the way a player na kase opese obo Chelsea and even before their travel for the FIFA Club World Cup ni bufu ye etu ni car free training ground because the transfer was delayed no opese FIFA Club World Cup wo jine mu boma Chelsea intene I think sporting directors no more Chelsea Todd Bowley mu Ekbali mu they need to make this transfer before the end of the week eso mutimi making sure it's a transfer we are go through because there is a window within the FIFA Club World Cup about me add the players so mutimi here if Dortmund are to go out they can get their player playing for them intene Chelsea if you no mutimi put it the transfer through you who said the likes of Alejandro Garnacho about the conversation nyama mienu it's either say Chelsea use Garnacho as a tactics to let Dortmund feel say player no so a person boy en hono you bet me akwa swap the only forgetting mutika so or there is a real truth about Garnacho moving to Chelsea but so bisamia a swap deal between Garnacho and Nkunku is a bad deal for Chelsea a very bad deal for Chelsea I didn't make us and say Garnacho performance was Man United and bad sir Oma goals Oma that direct play but the only thing that Man United team no about be a bigger problem ni conversation outside football there are a lot of inyame see I do be a Man United information in-house ni pie obekwa kwara Garnacho nua na akọ posti and wakọ ma hint on the Instagram page and this is something that you don't need in your club especially in Chelsea club here information PSC na fans be gi eguso ama wanye lock ya pressure be bad team no menye pressure ketwa and no na Todd Bowley muni any the likes of Enzo Maresca back for they were trying to avoid and until no buy o che team no mienu the likes of Lukaku, Raheem Sterling and the rest no oju omoto nchen because on pay that thing and Mbappe influence the remaining squad that they are ready to play and Garnacho moving to Chelsea is a bad deal for Chelsea
because of are you looking at say business wise and as Garnacho subaino
business wise Garnacho subaino everything is bad for Chelsea because as of now no Man United so more value Garnacho at 70 million so Chelsea's recent value on Mudima Nkunku was around 60 if the transfer is to go through Man United will be expecting Chelsea to add something and Nkunku moving to Man United least to Wanyamienu Ukraine is one of the best move ever to happen. So Nkunku Man United team we are team no that front two and a double 10 rules no channel. They would have one of the perfect with Nkunku and Cunha. Their quality on the ball striking, finding space, playing as second strikers. These are one of the two best players I met me young playing as a second striker in the Premier League. In with Man United side, it will be very good for Man United to get Nkunku. But Garnacho to Chelsea is something I don't think is good for Chelsea. It will depend on Chelsea. If they are going for Gittins, I don't think they'll go for Garnacho. But there are also reports going on say because of Mudryk way, they'll be looking at adding two players. Because near Castle say Gittins beba na Mudryk conversation then there is no need to add another winger. But we are looking at Mudryk when you who cry no 18 months we came 6 it almost a year. 20 mean call with getting spent for almost a year.
So they are looking at Stavio
but Stavio would be playing more from the right wing.
We ban is it 4 years or 2 years?
Mudryk there 4 years. But say wait me at who cry no 18 months. Because he who 4 years or appeal ya no 18 months. But Mudryk said we came 6. Into Beckham almost a year. 2025-2026 season, you bet me see the whole season. And Chelsea Nyana James will be going into a season with just a winger. Unless say the likes of Pedro Neto, Madueke Mube from the left wing. But that is where the Garnacho conversation comes in. Chelsea, if they are getting one thing I mean about the sporting directors, if they are getting a good deal, say okay, Man United who say Nkunku a priority more. So they would add Garnacho with Mania, they would take. they will take and walk away.
Okay.
But say if they are to add money to Nkunku for Garnacho, no, they would avoid it and use the likes of Pedro Neto, Madueke in that rule a bit. There's something that is going on. The next transfer about the next conversation about raise a lot of eyebrows. Rodrigo of Real Madrid. You him say Edu baby no. There were information say Xabi Alonso say Kwame Biaso no person man it now Beboa team, but in Real Madrid's last game against Pachuca, when Yebiambo, he was on the bench. In their game before that, no, against
Al Hilal,
yes, he got a chance to play, but one or two things the coach wasn't happy about. One thing about Fabregas team, they say, if your performance is not top notch, the next game, no, one you look at Unyebimbo. Who said he was dropped for Ada Goulet. Ada Goulet, he made 2 key passes leading to a goal. The conversation about Rodrigo, they say maybe Kwame Biaso beat me for Real Madrid because their last game on Mobebono, if he doesn't start, then it will escalate. Send the Kwame Biaso because so the future with Rodrigo still any balance. Would he leave? There is a big question. Yes, he may leave because Real Madrid are looking at adding younger talent to their setup. And Sisiano, adi ababe Xabi Alonso big headache. A creative midfielder, Senadan maybe di home common. And he's looking at
deep line playmaker.
Yeah, deep line playmaker. Obetimi a distribute ball on free chi. Though say Dean Hawson be man that ability no. But when you be kind of a because Osha Madrid echi wana uyu onwa the likes of Militao, they are not good for that. Rudiger is not good for that. Asensio is not good for that. Into Timinya Dean Hawson no another deep liner. Meaning so 2 players I say the other one can distribute the balls well for them. And at Wamayati I say he will still stick with that Madrid 4-3-3 formation. There wouldn't be changes, but there will be a lot of variations in it. There will be a 3-back, Alexander Bebo as a wing back, then Vinicius more occupy those spaces. So Rodrigo Kwame Biaso, if in the next game one started for Real Madrid, I think clubs will start knocking, and Real Madrid will let him go because they are looking at adding 1 key player into their setup a bit. The last transfer I made the home come a player friend in Bremo. Benuno meyewe metachi on bakumienu na Vicente Atuaso. With Mbemo, Oshe the transfer. Ni him say Thomas Frank moving to Tottenham. Ya de ba kwa na ebetimi aboa. Ama Mbemo moving to Tottenham. Bene the conversation at Tottenham for amo matri on money say Mbemo ehwe say obeji 250,000 or not less than 200,000 a week. So move it to one of these big clubs. Into Tottenham for Atrium. Say they are not willing to pay that money for Mbemo, even though say he is quality. I didn't say Tottenham for Atrium when you say the player is not quality, but they have players in that role that they are performing equally good. The likes of Brennan Johnson is performing well. You know him say the Europa League, no. Tottenham could final and Ejina Brennan Johnson. So the goals with me a boa mom with me share, and even in the final, no, with me share goal moment. They are looking at not paying him higher because they don't want the scenario baby the likes of Brennan Johnson move renew contract, Solanke move renew contract. Now Fidie say Timitum because we've gotten a player coming in taking a higher salary than these players. In Man United as some way him. In Bemo GD so beat me about Man United because he knows that Man United will be willing to pay a higher salary. Because we share these 2 clubs are Man United here and ye as in Tottenham. In Man United improve offer. They went in with a 50 million Brentford to Amonji. They went in with a 55 Brentford to Amonji. Now they are looking at going with a 60 million. I know so with a 60 million Brentford be agree based on add-ons on the account.
Okay.
Because Brentford be say if he is to qualify you for the Champions League or for any European competition, Muma is can be in count. If he's to score this amount of goals, Muma is can be in count. So these are add-ons I'm looking at Brentford adding. But with the player side,
it's likely he'll join United.
Yes, it's the player side that he's willing to join Man United, and he's looking at being that player, obetimi reviving Man United. Now every player be joining Man United, and yes, maybe Scanepe, but they are looking at a Man United on a down period. And it's a big club.
Yeah, challenge.
So Timiko, na Man United be real Champions League bioma. He would feel like he has been able to achieve something greater in his life. And a Man United epic here. they will surely be dominating Europe again. He would like to join Man United, and salary side, I think Man United are looking at paying him from 180,000 to at least 220. Until almost said the likes of Garnacho, the likes of Sancho, the likes of Rashford, Mufrima, they would have a bigger wage structure. They can put player friend in Bemo into the squad.
Okay.
Yeah. Listo. My main charity for na main sanso mama kwaba famra Jumadi so. My main started with Garnacho transfers ne sensem no. Since I was beating the Garnacho ne Ruben Amorim picture na to so amia. Washa. Listo Bekaya Garnacho sensem with United no. I started way back. This was a guy last season when United needed someone who will be scoring goals for them. He stepped in and watches our goals no. Obeka is an Caesar is it Caesar cake no?
Yeah, against Everton. Last season. Last 2 seasons.
Yes, a winning the goal of the season, and Sancho
Send a Winnie Puskas and
yes, Sancho and see Garnacho and Sancho leaving United was basically made on Abrampton on the performance other than that very season before I ever be season anymore. And we check it Nika or United former academy director. David saying that this is a boy still or like a lot of me. Garnacho was one player. Now you Greenwood, I think that he was one of the most the best prospects from the United Academy, because me I like wingers who are direct. Winger on your director, I will say the ball defense. Because as a winger, Ujibwa, you have to take on for so the ball in the box. You have to be a danger. That is how we grew up watching wingers. And Garnacho, I one type of that wingers maybe. And you see, and Yamon said he's been linked to Chelsea since last season and since the winter transfer window. Or fitted that profile, do the check it. The kind of wingers are this Chelsea board or buy and the kind of sporting directors they've been working with. Check the number of air strikers they've been working with. One, should be to say Mikhailo Mudryk. They need direct wingers, players who can run, players who can also shoot and score from everywhere. Now, so back December 2024, United ne City a ball game. Emma Rashford ne Amorim drop a lot of players, and he Obapeka said the players not drop on because of discipline, any training performances. Now Garnacho was part of that players. Ruben Amorim drop him with Marcus Rashford. He didn't play that game. Then the United next game against Ipswich, that was in the I think the quarterfinals, either in the EF or FA Cup, and of Garnacho. Despite that game, United also lose that game. So listo, check Garnacho. One of the things are aiding in your pano inconsistency. And this season, it's not even about a Garnacho. United this season, Omata Akono was so abysmal that the only player, not teams like Garnacho or Boma, even let's look at Europa games. Despite the fact that now Obekon, whenever he's playing, you could see Amad Diallo, and maybe Bruno Fernandes, who has been playing in attack for United last season. There wasn't any player in the United setup. Now, in terms of attacking wise, no better than Alejandro Garnacho. Even in the Premier League, not Joshua Zexi, not Rasmus Højlund. They are just 2 players. And Abaka said they had a lot of numbers than Abranta and they had Alejandro Garnacho. And if I was on fire Garnacho picture now, or share Rashford attack into some mommy. And you see, this is not the first time a player is wearing Nadam Fubi jersey. And I mean another club's jersey. But you see, yesterday I was talking about scapegoating. The moment clubs near here and I said there will be some instances via Ebeba won't mean you home criminal. I didn't know fourth crowd you say that is how it is. And what could do baby? Those days are Kepa is a balaga about Chelsea. It was a good bit much a Kepa. It was a boy with the Kepa fourth but because behind the scapegoats Adibia go be Chelsea because Kepa Asante Kepa fault. This is Garnacho wearing the teammates Marcus Rashford. As we are speaking right now, Rashford the United player. Oko loan spell na Abewe. And that jersey he's wearing was when United share Aston Villa. And only Marcus Rashford exchange jersey. And even in Ghana here, because of the All-Star Festival player engagement. none of the Ghanaian players are me visit some and say ye ko show me engagement and the no share the club JC, not even Afenajan, not even Thomas Partey, all the players, and even you who say Thomas Partey, most of the pictures and videos are all training or Ghana Hayden or share Flamingo Jesse, Jorginho, and the man agent when Thomas Partey was doing on the brain. And the virus of far Amad Diallo pictures and so Amad Diallo currently is United player, but they have videos and pictures over Ivory Coast or share Brighton and Hove Albion JC. But people are not even talking about that. People are sharing the videos and there's no hate comments, there's no abusive comments, there's no anything. This is Garnacho, a video from a video or share Brighton and Hove Albion JC Adingra. Ni crew ni JC national, which means also Shanadan for JC also the man when United played against Brighton and Hove Albion. And Neuko United youngster Harry Amas also share Real Madrid for JC all the year training or post out on IJC. And I quite said before that Ghana training, but a lot of United players are also posting pictures wearing another team's JC. And then Harry Amas or share Madrid JC our year training, pre-season training. So after Harry Amas or share Madrid JC and all the year training. Any hate comments, any abusive idea, Harry Amas. Now offer Patrick Dogu the answer to Sumami. Patrick Dogu also share AS Roma Atadi. Also the year training, that is a pre-season training. And a idea AC baby in fact, Obehu Kopama no Shanadan for BJC, Obehu we no show BJC. It happens. But now a lot of things are going on. And people are not even talking about it, and people are not even saying that maybe the boy he ain't scapegoat because he wants to leave, and that comment no be. I mean, no money man can say Garnacho Nimiano. You see, when season started here now, Ruben Amorim by now they were dropping the player now. There were a lot of things that now man for the Eka. And one thing that people even forgot to know is that Garnacho, the agent for not try say they won't even let the boy talk on social media because your players people actually they are raw or no back that sense. But in football there are a lot of things you cannot say and a lot of things you cannot even man about because of how professional you are and how other people might decode or message out they out. So to me I think that Garnacho is a player that coach after the comments at Branson say Emmanuel Claire said he wants to leave the club, he's not happy at the club. Now Coach Nsuma Garnacho in front of all the players money hours Garnacho should find a club because he is not a player or no Ruben Amorim is willing to work with him. Next season. So a player that the coach and the club doesn't need. How does the club say to be able to buy Alejandro Garnacho? I saw the 70 million ever. But meanwhile, the players, the clubs, they feel that they are going to work with the players. None of them no more price into 70 million. So it tells you something that the United as a club, they believe so much in the boy, but because of some circumstances and disciplinary, that is why the club wants to get rid of Alejandro Garnacho. Me, if Garnacho ever Chelsea, me, I'm in support of that move. That guy, or that direct attack. And you see, who check here? It's not coming say Chelsea are willing to pay that 70 million. In fact, that swap deal between Nkuku and Abranta and the Garnacho for both Chelsea wants that deal to be separate. Because even Nkuku Moton some years ago, Nkuku was around 60 million. Only 70 million I'm pay about Alejandro Garnacho. So I think that if United really wants to get rid of the boy, and yet mainly based on performance. Because of disciplinary issues and the relationship between the boy and the coaching. And me, I think that Nkuku being transferred and as being linked to United, because of head of recruitment, director of recruitment, which is Christopher Vivian. I'll be at Chelsea for some time. He worked at RB Salzburg, and he is the person requesting say the Yemfa Abranta and the Christopher Nkuku Timon United. The time I know RB Leipzig, that was when Christopher Nkuku won the Bundesliga Player of the Year, won the Golden Boot as well. And Nkuku, no, the system now coach Ruben Amorim, but still money mankind. The front three, he can play everywhere. Or no, Adibakwa Ama Nkuku coming to Chelsea one Eddie Nyanyi by injury. It got to a time Kuku became the fans' favorite. Anytime you watch Chelsea game, you should go. That was it late last season. Anytime you know should go.
And
But
if it wasn't with his injury,
yes.
Chelsea in for Kopama.
Yes, because of the injuries, I mean, obviously he's not been consistent with the Chelsea team, and Chelsea for him who said they cannot rely on him as a player. And now that number 9 spot, Robert Bono, they have a player who is playing, who is consistent, who is strong, and also playing in the name of Abraham and Nicholas Jackson. Prior to last season, Pochettino before the last 2 seasons, Pochettino by Chelsea, their plan was to play Nicholas Jackson and him, Christopher Nkunku as the 2 top. I don't remember number 10 at that time. Under Pochettino, Kopama was playing from the wings, but Kopama, yesterday season no more as a number 10, but Kopama came to play as a number 10 when Christopher Nkunku a prior. Then they had to move Kopama to number 10, and Kopama so called you go to a say number 10 so Boaboni. So Christopher Nkunku to a United will be a dealer. Everybody United will give United a lot of space, and United for workers, any sporting director, someone will say they are not going to spend on any central midfielder again. So I clearly say Bruno Fernandes will move or go back to deep, because you cannot buy Mbuemo, you cannot buy Kunha, you cannot even buy Christopher Nkunku and still play Abraham Eddie Bruno Fernandes as part of the players now on about top 3 hodl. Now let me move to Brian Mbuemo. And you see, people are asking a lot of questions. Mbuemo, what will be the future for Abraham and Amad Diallo? And to be very honest, Diallo, when Tony free Atlanta, he's not been able to be in the Man United first team up until last season. And the Amad Diallo fan for Atlanta. All of us, one United could fan who said there's an typical African boy. He's very good on the ball, or a very good player, but one of the best wingers in the game. I mean, we're seeing a lot of things going on loan. And last season, Oba United, he became one of the most important players for Man United, scoring in an important games. In the Ubisa United fan BR. So you Bruno Fernandes free. The only player United for because last season, no your key player was Amad Diallo, and he has become an important figure in the United team. Despite the fact say, Ocheki Ruben Amorim or a 3-back system or a 5-back system, but anytime either the left wing back or the right wing back should be a natural winger, and mostly that winger now be transfer na man about that one of the full back. You have to be Sebia or the left side be Patrick Dogu ebono. So on man Dogu ebo that position. No the player the be transfer a winger and about that position. It should be a right-footed winger. I'll be boy for the left side. So at Sporting, that Chelsea boy in Matona, or that's who alone it was Sporting, Quinda.
Yeah.
I remember when those days are Amorim deal neighbor. And I made me explain about how Amorim plays. Me come more about Quinda didn't say maybe they can use Anthony or that position. Or he about United. He started playing Anthony there. But the coach said Anthony recovery wasn't good, so I'm more Anthony Woko. And we are trying a lot of players at that position. Ahmad Abba to the extent that if Ahmad is playing as or surging forward, he because of how creative he is, or I did a lot of goals and a lot of assists in that regard. So imagine having Brandon Mbuemo and Amad Diallo at the left side of our attack. And you see, used to me Mbuemo no Wolves Brentford for say they want the same amount. Not if not more. They want the same amount that United for Chama Wolves for Matheus Cunha, because they believe that Cunha is not a better player than Brandon Mbuemo, and I agree with that. Because Cunha last season, one she goes and say Brandon Mbuemo. Mbuemo shared 20 goals, he provided 8 assists for Brentford. Check it. Cunha, I don't even think the Cunha goals or share crampon. He drew 15. I know that he or share more than 10 goals, but he drew the number of goals Brandon Mbuemo a share. So if Brentford is asking for the same amount United chairman awards for Matheus Cunha, I think that they are doing a very good business. And this player is a player list. When Thomas Frank bought Tottenham Hotspur, and even with Ivan Toney, This is a player, Listo, in the front three position, especially from the left side, where United for like that auxiliary number 10,
Matias
yes.
Cunha,
Yeah.
about 36 games,
Yeah.
2,829 minutes, 17 goals, 6 assists.
That is in all competition.
Yeah, that
Four.
is 2024, 2025. So
Yes,
the
in
Premier
all
League,
competition, yeah.
he scored a year 15, and a year 6 assists.
Yes.
No, share FA Cup 2.
Yeah.
The Premier League was share 15 goals.
Yeah. So it means that on only goals I'll share in overall, no, it doesn't even tally the number of goals that Brian Mbeumo shot at Brentford. Now, in Mbeumo, people are asking, how is even United going to play with him, with Amad Diallo, ABR picking form? Now, listen, here is the case. When Brentford was playing a 4-2-3-1 system and a number 4-3-3, they were still playing a Brian Mbeumo from the left side. I know it's me complementing with Ivan Toney so well. Now, when almost switch by a 3-5-2 system, with that two top, but with you want to whistle. Still, also flourishing in that system. So whether a 4-back system, whether a 3-back system, whatever you play, Brandon Mbeumo up front, very good. Now the United people are also a lot of questions. We have Mbeumo, we have Abrante de Amad Diallo. You need to Adma December, Echo January. There will be a AFCON. This player, a Cameroonian player, or call AFCON, or maybe for 4 weeks. Same as Amad Diallo for Cote d'Ivoire, or maybe for 4 weeks. So there's a reason why some of the United people believe that we don't need Mbeumo, we don't need young Mbeumo, because who confirm Mbeumo, not confirm Amad Diallo at the right side. December and January, that is where I say team be bottom for team be Liga. Yehu. Who loses key players now? That is why some of the United players and our fans they are not even happy about Mbeumo coming. They believe they call any other player on Africa now and come anybody. But to me, Brandon Mbeumo list or you proving or any player of free other leagues because he has to adapt to the league. From championship, or free Troy or Bar Brentford, years in years out, he's been improving, and the last year was 25 years were mature. A player or you tried and tested in the Premier League, and when he's coming to the United setup, he doesn't need adaptability in terms of say Oba UK, in terms of weather, in terms of the physique, in terms of how the Premier League is here. He needs to be adapted to anything. All he has to do is say, "Obey me adapted to a United." How the coach wants to set up, and the pressure, because the kind of pressure will be on Brentford. No, it's not the same thing. They can't catch you. Say in fact, especially in the Premier League, there are two clubs. When you are coming to play, you have to you have to work on your mind very well. Chelsea United with Manchester City. Even City crampo anytime they are Pep Guardiola crampo. As I said, the fans are on time back. Let me share ball. Liverpool, you won't get that pressure. So with him coming and the mentality, I think that he will help United so much. And United, with the amount of money Brentford for Nepeno, I mean they are doing a very quite good business, because you are paying 60 or 60 for Kunwa, and you cannot pay less for a year. Abraham and Brandon Mbeumo. Now Tottenham for so the coach are Omaninya that numbers no with Tottenham, and Tottenham so in the more maybe the player himself or the Tottenham United see what he will choose a United because of the pedigree of Man United, and United will guarantee you winning trophies. Although the fact that United winning a year the league is almost more than 10 years at United winning league, but then they are trying as much as possible say they will come back. But at least the EFL and the FA Cup in recent times, United have been winning those trophies. So to me, I think that Brian Mbeumo Listo joining United will be something. I think that very very ideal, and United have to clock that deal, because Listo Ucheke Abraham goals and how setting up in the team and how United for Sobongbona he will fit into the squad wherever the coach will play him, especially from the right side of attack. Obe flourish quickly on Jimmy Gittins now the end on the FIFA Club World Cup Messi Ediano. I think that Jimmy Gittins I hear clear said the boy wants to play for Chelsea, and they've been reports say Chelsea and Abraham they are agree BPR. Now what Ababaye Adene say any Bayern Munich for super winger, but many can always be an club to club. Dortmund for no. I did Bayern for Germany and say always every top player be about true Bayern be alo. Dortmund be able to acquire and up in Bayern Munich. Then at the end of the day, you know about your prospects. And now Dortmund for they are trying to avoid that because you cannot sell your best players to your enemy and not to your competitor. Then at the end of the day, no, this player na Asanso Abesho the Waji League. It has been something that the Dortmund faithfuls and our fans has been talking about for some time now. So if a club buy Dortmund for almost first choice is they will sell the player to a club abroad. They only sell to the teams in Germany and especially to Bayern Munich when they do not have any choice. And Dortmund names they are selling club. You who don't Jadon Sancho, you who don't Jude Bellingham, and Jude Bellingham Job Abba. You see the number of attention the PR number boy, and 2 to 3 years time they will sell the boy. So Gittins any Chelsea will be now where Chelsea need to follow short on the money involved. Because Tottenham funny feel is that if people are paying 50-60 for this boy, you can also pay such amount for Jimmy Gittins. So in terms of the personal terms with the boy, you know, only Chelsea agree with 7 years that I saw, but Chelsea have signed 7 years for the club. Now whatever I can between Chelsea and Dortmund. And Bayern for also show interest, but the boy I can't share Dortmund was if he's going to move between these two teams, it should be Chelsea. So they should focus on with the negotiation and conversation with Chelsea. Now, reporter and Martelo can say the conversation with Gittins between Chelsea and Dortmund is so easy that because both clubs in now US, so recently more any Dortmund paying for no. They are having constant conversations and negotiations always because in our and you feel be jet acco Germany. So because Uber jet and Uber to come Germany, you have to finalize everything. Uber na ya commodity no aye ntiti. And I likely that Chelsea had wanted to sign the boy before the FIFA club or that special transfer window no be end. But now they want to sign him before our best started or maybe the FIFA club World Cup on best started preseason. And then Chelsea will say they need a right winger. That right winger with Sterling and Mikhailo Modric not being their plans for next season. They need another winger, a direct and explosive winger. And they say don't forget that this boy is a England player. Osanso Man City Academy. So Joe Shield any the people involved in the Chelsea recruitment, they are familiar with the boy. So him coming checking the profile now, especially like Mikhailo Modric, that explosive winger, footworks, he direct counter-attacking football whenever he enters into the box, or that power of it me a ball anytime. And maybe him coming, he doesn't need to also or an England boy, he's familiar with how the English league is, how intensity, how physical it is, and what brands we are. Or our wingers not almost one typical English wingers nibi no, typical natural wingers nibi. So to me, I think that getting to Chelsea and Shedan deal about it. You see, the kind of project the Chelsea team are doing, they need their wingers. Look at the wingers they've been buying for all these years. Noni Madueke, Pedro Neto, they are all wingers are or director and they omit my so all you have to do is say you have to be consistent. Obey me I am consistent. In new check Chelsea wingers now. Madueke, Pedro Neto and all the wingers are they've had almost timer. All they need is omit me I am consistent. So to me, with the Jamie Gittins deal there, with reports are air Banich said Chelsea for no I improve or more offer no. They are trying to meet me finding a deal with Dortmund boy and so it's me about Listo finally on the
no before I buy games in this room mama and share with Ghanaian interest Christopher Bonsu ba I'm drawing a report by say 50 million euros from Genk to a year Alquasia, yes, I was Saudi League. I generated a lot of conversation about this boy. We will see some of the video. No boy among the air blasters. I'm up for a business. I didn't think a 20-year-old. What you mean when your first year recently now when you collapse, you had opportunity to play your first game. Everybody is impressed with the performance. I clear say. He will likely get another call up in September when we play Chad and Mali. A 2 victory, shows that Ghana is going for the World Cup next year. You get opportunity to play for the World Cup. I didn't know all playing who I call Saudi at age 20. Ebi muso say so sikaba also kokojiska. Yen hwe ayesa to adewe say is it good was oko anase was so the otna.
Okay, nti ye hwe Christopher issue na I think listo nyame anim no kra ni football na ye bo anadwuma bi a wo ye bia iska ana bibi ebe free mu beba na ebe den be benefit o. Ye ne hu transfer fee a ni club gen kaje. And as at that transfer fee, none value or the market value 3.6 million. So meaning the club needs me almost times 5 of market value of the player. And on the player side, you say with clubs in this Asian or Saudi countries, no, you get the opportunity taxing in Yamaya Adebako of him compared to the European countries. By the age of 20, that is where you better draw a line because I think a young player at the age of 20, the ball, any performance award in the my team and friend Genka. Everybody was looking at getting a Black Star call up no, because the Black Stars to the World Cup na kono. So Ghana team qualify World Cup now is a big opportunity for you. Who players or more Black Stars are out of that. No meet me a league flogium carrier. Even the likes of Kelvin Prince Boateng, it was through the Black Stars. No meet me a good deal. AC Milan in the Aka. So at the age of 20 going to Saudi football wise there and yeah good mami because I think say he's now learning Genk we in the second season ni with me about mom the numbers ne quality especially last season intino it was one thing that he would look at improving get into those European competitions no home more than with that national team call up now so is a main fan is a stepstone for you it will get you good deals in 1 or 2 years but ye name him say ufri yenkuo mu ha na ufri Africa continent na born the obebo passion but sikano ade ba ko a ehia yi nti ene obehe ne contract mu ske bia de be ma no ho no any scan obeji wo Genk na maybe times 2 and at times 4 asem ne ka so their players will move to Saudi akwakobo 1 or 2 seasons are returning back to Europe you the likes of your friends Henderson mu they return back to Europe. Who John Duran recently in the agent because say surely he will return back to Europe. Who the likes of the friend is saying there was this play of Freeport to call Vega. He returned back, so he can go make some money and return back. But football wise, I think it was not a good move. But on the player side, financially, it's a good move for him. I think he should go and perform well. Since a Saudi league with the likes of Anas Samu, I said the league is getting that exposure, so he will get what he wants and maybe return as a mature player.
Ghanaian player ben and as African player ben ye who say wakọ na number bi say as are returning.
Most of them they are more in their 30s. The likes of Koulibaly, Mendy, Mani, they were just moving at
Ebia in a call China and returning here. Bakambu.
Yes. So the opportunity see I know there or no share no financial side and at the age 20 or more years winning him. So basically I could boss Saudi 2 years. Not performance still at the top notch. I think we'll get still Obenya call up into the Black Stars. And from there
are you sure?
Oh yes.
Because if you look at the options at Black Stars was here.
The wings.
The wings one. Oshe Osman Ibrahim. Also as also outside in. They all call Brighton for player and all call Feyenoord.
Yes.
Then there is Kamal D Suleiman.
Or call Southampton.
Or call likely so by joining Atlanta.
Okay.
Nyama of any injury nearby.
No, so with Leon for instance, so Mijidi say obey movie.
Yeah, even if so movie, we are talking about people who stay Black Stars name that.
But the opportunity, I think, say it will give him. They say he's a good winger, a very good winger, an explosive winger. One thing about one is moving into a league, you can be able to exhibit your talent more. And one thing I mostly I say, okay, agent handle players now. Say player needs or person call maybe a lower league.
No, I'm looking at say. the American maybe I won't say myself. I'm talking about the fact say
he would get back into the team.
Say Osha Blasters nkofo ni omo compete with wings one mo. If Obia aye fit airborne there. Will he still get opportunity ahead of them? So Saudi no.
He will get because performance wise number of goals and partnership because I don't think say any air call up na washe 20 goals was Saudi. 25 goals was Saudi performance near top notch. Ghanaians will vouch for him, say he needs to be called up.
Okay.
And Nuntina, I was saying that their agents, they look at their players, taking maybe an easy route, but taking an easy route, maturing, then they can move into big clubs. The likes of Erling Haaland, when he was moving, now Ubien himself, there are bigger clubs he could move to.
Oh no, sir, no, or Europe, but we are looking at say Nippon because your perception about say who free, yeah. Potential be a Champions League team, Europa League team, every Europe, Abba Saudi. We've seen players at Airbo. Joseph Pente was doing more than what he's doing our gang. Joseph Pente movie called MLS Nimuna Nicola Brown BBI Osman Bukari. He was playing a Champions League and he was getting called up. Time our war rested there. The moment the movie called MLS the call up name maybe, and okay. The same thing. That's what I'm saying. Is that if you look at the wingers now, Semenyo, no, it doesn't matter who can share 20 goals for Saudi. Semenyo will get a Dimbeba list so first
for you. Yes.
Come on, Dimbeba list. Niama Feta, Niama Dimbeba first list so first. Before I had a but so all these things come into play.
Factor, yes.
And I say it's kinda
a two sides. It's either trying to get the money, and now he's young, he can return back depending on senior to put it things. But I think to me, financially is a good move for him, and player wise and maybe a football career wise, no, I think still any better he could still go there, perform well, and still get a call up into the Black Stars.
Okay, to the whole supporting move.
Yes.
No? Yeah.
Listo, I think that Babons will move to Acasiano. We an agent now confirm and we see a reporter about say they've confirmed the move finally. Omar agree on 70 million euros for him to move, and there's a boy Listo. I remember he's a player, he can play from the wings, he can also play as a striker. In fact, Oba Black Stars we are didn't share the striking department, so he's a player that some of us know him from afar, and that Unity Cup no boy and his stellar performance and assist now a lot of people and say he's a player I mean he's direct, but the thing is I remember when collab by people mentioned about him as a player the number of goals, because out of 30 something games Obama Jenkins no I should just 3 goals, but yes still he was getting collapsed. They've been seasons Ghanaians have been saying say Bernard Mensah a player be very good, we have to call him to the national team, and there are a lot of players end up going to the MLS, they've end up going to Saudi, back to Europe. He went to China, came back to play in European top flight. So
no, also movie ko na when Blasters be.
Yeah, anytime I say the perception I sometimes it's not even about the about Black Stars, because check here, there are a lot of players ball Europa. They are not even performing better than the players or more. So yeah, perception but I see the football business it's not about Black Stars. But Baraman is he not playing Europe? But he has a reason why when you're Black Stars. So as a player, if you are getting a move, you shouldn't be thinking about the Black Stars, because Black Stars they do baby. How you treat your legends, no the football business Black Stars black. At the end of the day, you will even retire and the FA will not even mind. We've been seeing how the legends, people are more winning. The last AFCON for Ghana, the promises are promise you. We've been seeing football legends or more born Captain Black Stars for almost 10 years. How they ended up after football. So listen, the football no once he has a business no. I mean he's young, 20 years. Oko Akasia and Saudi League no. We are here and anytime be a Black Star call baby, we are hoping that we should call players from the local league and come out Black Stars. But Nyabiano, is the Ghana Premier League better than the Saudi League? It's not. But we have players playing in Europe. So I can see a honor and they will check in the Saudi League. Now most of the players are more Saudi. They are playing for their national teams. So the Saudi League, despite the fact that there's some tag we say Players on my yes, I mean that we have a lot of young players playing the Saudi League. And Nigeria free Akasia. But people saying we shouldn't call him again. Akasia for Ton, CD Lugua, one of the most important players for them when they were even fighting for relegation and they had to call him back. And then they Obeko on Nigeria free Beko. If Cristobal Bambosu, Eko Saudi, no Bobo ni that opportunity because at Jenk he's playing the game, but the numbers is not showing. Out of 30 something games, so she just 3 goals. And they move about Akasia. Okono improve here. There'll still be a club elsewhere to buy him. So maybe there, I don't buy into that as a player because Saudi we shouldn't call him. And they Black Stars no, but players would have sent a ball top class.
You see, it's not about perception or it's not about way. That
is what I mean.
We are stating facts. This is what
but
is
it's
there.
not right. That is what I mean.
Yeah, no, right.
Oh,
because almost from deserve say from. And I will say
that is what I mean.
Because you see,
as a footballer, all the Black Stars collapse, so Ukosa or the Union Black Stars collapse. It means that you are not going to move. Later. So I don't know idea. Me advise because if you call Union Black because I
and you no because conversation is two. Either say or no ne be say okay, me who said there are evidence say Ubobo Europe now movie call a lesser liga, so called lesser liga. You call up to the national team no baby but regardless I will look at what I'm getting and leave and move.
Yes.
That because you can say perception now.
Other players, I mean who say if Cristobal Bambosu currently he's been getting call up to the national team. Even in Unity Gabriel, he was getting collapse. Ewo Jenk. Now, so call Saudi League. No perform here. I still think that the project now they will still call him. That is why I mean percent Medro and say players be more but they are also players are Chinese league and still there from Black Stars. So what I say? If or integral
because
when an echo. But that is why
John has he done enough with the time where the Amanu to say oh movie ko baby he will get a call up
because on Christopher Bamos he's not a like a permanent Black Star player say he say if Thomas Partey and Mohamed Kudus cause out the Abaka say oh because of moving to the lesser league so you won't call him. That's not the case. So all the player has to do so on establishment as a better footballer. Now what the team say one Okobobo was at the end for Black Stars and it means that you're not going to move go board a business at the end of the day you're from Black Stars you still play your football and still earn your money. We have free Jenk.
Who agrees?
We have free Gent. Pencil. One free the way Belgium League uncle.
Honestly, the same
but they've been calling him.
Honestly, Jenk
yes, free Jenk they call MLS, but they've been calling him. So once Oko now Bobo still the coach is not unless maybe Rebecca said then if you know anything I'm going to say the player he should just do the right thing. If the country not free mono, there's the perception coach is the name paying for no football. That's how they do. That means that you can also improve as a player. He can 20 years, he can play 5 years in the Saudi League and still come back to Europe.
Right. As a Majan echo Sunderland. Obia Niji or boy now he was being linked to Liverpool and Real Madrid near there. January and I aim for this Kabai. Almost you unconquerable 2 years emra. Ever here now. Say if Samoa was destined to play for Liverpool, Chelsea or Real Madrid, it didn't happen. And I think at that time, so now Sunderland must season end there, and can they buy opportunity no nyaye to a year Real Madrid and Samoa and Kobenya permanent move their call because at that time the type of goals are not shed it big teams, and in the performance, Not also but amount for Casu won't jiska. We now be 2 years no san return it. You when the ekoko the ekoko see made a candid opinion and say look wherever you are the fact say Bobo outside even people are playing in Africa and earning money and doing better investment and living comfortably. I think say with the age and the future or war ahead of him going to Saudi a downturn to the career. Boy in a prospect, he looks like a right to dream a academy boy. Come out dim money, come out dim the talent and come out dim money. A kudus mo. A what pa? I don't see the difference. Because if you've seen him play, you will not even judge him with goals. You will not judge him with goals. He is that player. Obama Bibia then happen. He will create the chances. He will take players on, or he explosive, and with the talent in the crown now. I feel say another season with a gang playing either the Champions League or the Europa League. Cement your position in the Blasters, go to the World Cup, return and seal a big move to a big European club, get a reputation in Europe, then go and get your money, your friends, retirement money at the Saudi League. It's as simple as that. Look, the European players now, they have the luxury of what? Going into lower leagues and returning without any problem, without any issue. Into Viega no, wakone nam Al Ali, and they were returning to Porto. The black players, we don't get that opportunity. Say Ubenya sa the luxury, especially only one season in a gang. Now, why yeah? I Nuntiabema Omubaya, there was a guy who did this at this club for this period, consistent level. So let's go and bring him back. And like I said, if there is somebody performing, the European League, automatically they will call that player ahead of you. It's as simple as that. And if you look at the options are position now, obviously no before no more any more sound that in terms of say your free players omo any more the SM because nneama pra no pra no and e ma ho be no mo ye do mo do be shemu. So the opportunity waba wanya we abo. I think say look, amavoka kona kojiska. We cannot pretend and say going to get all the money and the say you'll be successful post your career. Yen nyina say the okojisika kese pa ne ho akere no or the nhuko politics mo twane di nanu ye de ne car ekosi fitting shop baby a yenim say sample for mo isikafo no baby o mo ye o mo shop mo ni sometimes they call fitter for no and a buffy no ma fix it ye hu say baby a ya hange ne car oposika no ye nyina so it is not too much money that you get and it just say you'll be successful. No matter how it is, what you do with that money and a better one and that is the conversation I was saying among your players in the here said so that they will have a wonderful careers. And then today, Mike Lessian, if you are seeing a movie, Mike Lessian movie be Odidini Din and yet the name not building any way the Odidi home. And Obi didn't want to so be because Okasa Obe Rapandi Trimua, he will be called a Premier League for they will call him Sky Sports, Obenya Offers, BT Sports, Obenya a lot of offers. As Asian Castle will give it or Bieni Muse on your Super Sports Club to Mama a slot. Just to come and have conversation. A side dinner wire than what you at the top level, no, and on the air cover now. Ebema when you sustainable income, even post a career, you can what? You can still gain something. Need your way the unya playing career no. Anyway, this our level now. Question go and get the money. Kona koji skano. Skaba kona koji. Obeshano. No matter ebi again ko Jimmy Van say $10,000 and I say $20,000 a month. We mama ya amudu be ko be 50,000. But ebia otimi bo World Cup abeka on CV ho ebia wotimi movie dia ko bia me fan say bia gang ebia wo movie afri ho waba ebia Stade Reims ana ebia Stade Rennes ana say waba ne ya Strasbourg mu nyina bo Europe ebia waba be bo awura ho waba 2-3 seasons ebia waba ebia Premier League waba benya Leeds United bi ni ade abo any ade when they are coming for you they know say you are World Cup with today if say they Kudus imagine someone called Kudusa. Kudus is going to be one of the most paid players in Africa because of Kudus. The deal why then waje in the shortest possible time over the career. It made the some move way with the talent now boy in Ukraine. Talent in Ukraine. I see this guy say Abia Dortmund ne Bayern Munich and almost share wingers near there. Who knows? Because almost the data almost software you know say the type of player na any it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you come from. You go and play benyen din wo ho owie so a edin na wa build no sadina de obey den ebeko China for discover by Saudi for started so mutu anya ne Prince Tego mu ko GB Prince Tego mu ye den ekoko GB. So take your time, develop your way, because at the end of the day football na your career ball no wan so obey den obebo and ball no your born sese na uko school no we aim ni say you want to be a PhD holder, you want to get your masters, you want to get your ICA, you want to be a chartered accountant, you want to achieve the apex career be bia na sika nya buy because at this stage the motive ni is car. It is not about say ebia kwakobo ma akwahye afo no akwakoji trophies ana we obia say is car no evidence no so kire say enye sika bebrebe na obenya no ena kire say post o career bibia be smooth papa ko obobo wo Egypt ya metuma catch yourself papa ko live a better life than some of the professional players omkoko jiska ewo wiase mu nyina because of kakra no nya no the type of investment no ye no who dividend ne no amana ye den amana ye comfortable post a football way. So this is me candid opinion say some move with there I feel say also nya botre develop do baby 25 26 one obi a top level no unse den ra baby a na okọ a obi an any problem, but this at 20 in the kind of talent no kra no I think say na coach ayefre no Watara, coach Watara minimum ade a oji a small letter to coach Watara, just 7 minutes. Minim say aden origin a pension payer na I don't get it. Coach I so ma for free. What coach wo Morocco ni ade. Na waba me na me position is say after last season also mo pamon, because you had a lot of matches to justify say who a good coach. Na mase omo ye de omo fight relegation. It nanka was season end year also come pamon. Eno munya agidie woni mu. Eno mo allow no say on players, and they watch the caliber of players are ko omo man signing ya. Omo man signing young players. Basically young players. And almost started a season no. Na say honey and the omo key player omo ton player no. Omo key midfielder has for you the eton. I don't remember the last time I have ton player directly sir. So obeka ya free bani de no yehu de see a chopper near the ade nyina be man sana. But we de na you player no mo ton ye e ko giska. A coach wait time and I said near the see. And what bra kakran crowd the young players we to me have finished season we finish a year within a year the top 4. So per the statistics be a Chelsea coach na bon homode. And almost there be that according to relegation no and no munya akukuduro man netra but odi o finish 4th no dey almost there be omo man coach team no mafa Didi Dramani fantastic Didi Dramani waje Ghana Premier League no with Kotoko ne ade or pedigree 80 or he's coming with a CV no problem no mo buy o ma ba be ka kire say o ma assign papa way to den special assistant with a special operation to the D board Charlie head coach your portfolio I dey work way yet to say straight up to say we delivery guy on say Papa's Pizza delivery guys from Mujeja hono mo obi to dia na no mama na ye den akwachi say djuma ni bi no monde Watara akwakoye na me bisa me say papa no ne ho abo ne ho so ana coach Watara ho abo ho so ana you need to resign. Tell them say you cannot accept a position no omode ama no at least you need to have certain level of dignity. Yenim say francophone or they are disciplined people. And you mo fun no mo dem. But who dey from head coach, you the work say what are you going to advise the board on? Then now advise you on. Then now advise you on say head coach no mo believe or better than you no. Or no na advise the board for no on that. What are you going to do there? Because any technical director and Marcus, technical director there, he can even concentrate hours. I will make sure say collide there because if you on senior side or be sure say or the model be corner and collide. But you see we special advisor to the board. Say juma we obaga na high gorobo juma. Yakaso be a special assistant to the and gorobo. Obekwa ko di kokonsa okwa ko wo nipa ho ne yesoma nkona koto we bra anajo a wada no na ya fro say chale bra asema ba na waba be chale coach Watara de na woje bibisa say de ya na woje ye humiliate you say you still na wo so ana ho abon so say ho abon so de a ene robi e de be ma obi abed obeje. Now, head coach of Accra House of Folk. What coach of Morocco near the Adina, the coach, correct coach, our coach Kotoko Crapping. What about who did think how the team new relegation? Our opportunity say coach team no, and how the did fourth. The best since Omoji Omo League, you know. Since I has J League, you know, this is the best position on my finish. Almost say one yard here. It's a special assistant to the board. On special initiative ni san dia no and also waje it will be better ojuma pa na sen say bia wo contract na ka 2 years bi na aka 1 year bia ka che so omuntu balance mfa na ka okrom because position na wakwa akwaje ye hu ojuma dia wo ba bedi ana na say wo ba explain che say juma say ne dia ma me say mra bedi because special assistant to the board on dia na wakwa akoye. Eti abuja for the Watara yes so special day and day to the end there has for omo de aba no nti mo bibi ka ho a mo fan to jana say bibi aniwa yanto aso.
Yeah, but I think with whatever has to folk for ne no appointing Watara as the Amaria signing as the special advisor to the board and board of directors. I mainly say he will be working directly with the board of directors on special assignments and duties. So and I think
especially I don't know
and you see when such appointment he say yeah when him say Watara no we might not know the qualification as a person so
or your coach the any man so your coach
you need the qualification maybe he has other a certificate
with the administration then
that no does it sit well?
Yes
head coach of a team
and me problem because you can't give me a job maybe as a CEO or company beam now more house you are to a lesser role. And yes. With my pedigree, a lesser role, then I accept it. Because Minjin this any top European coach, Rebecca say a special advisor, Nija coaching
to a board,
then you accept it. It's like in a way, it doesn't really sit well.
So maybe then whatever has to folk fine because normally if Osaki coach, normally you have to pay compensations and other clubs have been doing it. Sometimes a club will appoint a coach. Then we hire coach, but he's still paying the other coach to do other things. So has for
no, you see, mainly no. The omo yene say because of the compensation, as soon as no. Ebi on beja to me okay. In the next 3 years, we will continue paying you. Say you bet you say unye juma biadi, I will continue paying you. But unye juma pay, we will stop.
Yes.
But say you reassign, we say kona umo mukwaye special for special initiative, special day and the end.
So House of Folk doesn't want to be paying. That compensation all the workers. So they are just giving him, but it doesn't mean say Ajumana Wanyano. Unya any other coaching job Unja is special.
So we say okay, special way now. And then obey me.
That is and I say right now as you say they say and I'm say me and I explain say I don't know the kind of certificate and other
only coaching.
But I don't know.
you coaching now. Administration they are no money admin head.
What I'm saying is that
special assistant
special advisor to the board. He is going to be the technical person or will relay whatever information from the technical team to the board of directors. That is but you see until now say has a whole break it down say a special advisor maybe or no to play on the base and as on the player or basic player just until then you say has for Amanurua. They are still going to pay him, and a lot of clubs here, even in Europe, among high coaches, then the other coaches, they are still paying them until say but
we know Obianka about we are talking about the reassignment. Say you see, what say the old can say technical way. You see, coach now all by the same.
Oh, but
is it them a woman advice be about coaching? So are you going to say coach need to be
They didn't say he's going to advise the coach.
There be advice board on the coach now board.
Yes, so it's another Jumon and they believe that he can do it. This is the same club.
It's a new coach, as a Waba Bejimejuma.
Why are we creating problem? If you are
professional,
but
he's going to work. Like I say, any emotions where he's going to work. So Omari assigned as a special advisor to the board, asking the kind of advice he's going to give the board. About the team's performance.
Almost say,
but they didn't
read the almost indicative. Almost say special advisor in the day. Say initiative.
The board of Accra Folk Sporting Club PLC has reassigned Abubakar Ouattara from the role of head coach to special advisor to the board of directors. I say. Maybe another part. I say, as a special advisor, Abubakar Ouattara will be working directly with the board of directors on special assignments and duties. To us. I say the board conveys its congratulations to Abubakar Ouattara in his role and
specific.
Not technical. Good collaboration. And I'm just say the specific. Almost assignment and duties. We don't know the specific assignment and duties. It could be technical assignment and duties.
If there was something
about technical,
so we don't know. So we can decide for us.
Say no, meba. Ejuma okwa
you need certificate.
Okwa one way I even want to see JC. Because was OC JC. And now make us say, where is your dignity, chairman?
Because they didn't say report on the
where is your dignity?
I'm a special advisor.
Almost say obesi JC
certificate for the coach.
Obesi JC.
Conversation. Also yes, we don't say the wire laundry. What do we know?
Okwa laundry.
By special advisor.
David Ward and the case kusi JC.
Special advisor to the board of directors. It means that
David Ward
we don't know. So we don't have to.
Okay, the board in the castle.
Until he starts working.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They become
special assignment. And you
oh
no.
Special.
No, listen. And you there are some works.
Special duties. Special duties. And special duties, no.
Do you know the special duties?
Mama Obi. Ebi ni say, you bet mark at your say. Oh, there be special duty. But chairman bet mark at your say. Boss na what Kobe Mano.
Enye no kre.
Ewuti kwana kwa den.
Enye no kre.
And na me be say, coach, where is your dignity? Where is your dignity?
But so,
where is your dignity?
You don't know the coach. You see, all I can say in terms of the board of directors, you will how he can serve on the board for House of Folk.
And that's only part of board way.
He's going to be
a part of board.
Listen,
on special way. Special day.
There is something they've seen in this man. Yes. That they believe that he can help them as a
club. To make this letter valid, Kezo state okay. Now special duties maybe on player transfer.
Why should they? Why should they come and explain to you? Say
yes.
They don't owe you any explanation.
No,
they don't owe
you any explanation. So mo dia babo change say dey. Man tell say. Mama sure. The thing say me what I know, what I feel in say. The board and Metumaka said the decision makers of House of Folk still believe in this man.
Yes.
But outside noise, supporters no yes onyade omane tram mehwebo eno my imagine net sadia ye be reassign because has we coach a wonyade asam obodu otinsem a aye yi be kafa no ho nya wonya wotama kulu be fa no or ye indiscipline or ye say they sacked him outright obi or ye then omo ji legal outright they sacked him without any recourse to what the supporters were saying say moma na ntra na there say omo nim pass omo akoma omo nim say coach we e bad omo enye de any so na come sack no compensation your problem former but they see say bibi ye de ewo nimu in terms of the coaching adwuma na obeye na ntina me ma the background say obaye no time also mo sack no come back no na ene wawura top form a with a young players and yes old players or young players no kura because masa twabi omo ton bi omo key player no je omo midfield Salim Adams of free team nimu in the course of the season and they omo believe say he has even overachieved komunya ya komema na ko but omo hwe what the supporters are saying supporters sentiment and omo real sign say wo de shahana wo de yentu aka and no na mimi wu ni say a recipe for disaster for a coach Didi.
Yes.
Because what it means is that I was all finish it above the 4th position.
And now you BBR, they would refer you.
Who you BBR, they will refer you. And anything you are BBR, the moment they fire you, nipa no more trusting no is still around. I don't know say if what I'm saying makes sense, but this is what I feel. Well, yemfa no nsi anafi yenhwe yen daily us no yemfa ambra na afi yenko yenim. Yanti what you do no?
Yes, hello. Yes, and the games Bayern Munich and Benfica European we fix Japan betimi akoso. So game no Bayern Munich Benfica make for Bayern Munich win or draw and over 1.5 Los Angeles any Flamingo game near tough game Flamingo win or draw and under 3.5 and a Chelsea any Esperance Chelsea win and over 1.5 odds near 4 odds any game sell until code no ZFPY MYBET.AFRICA.
My selection for the day near just 2 games. Benfica and Bayern Munich game no. Me call a double chance for Bayern Munich. That is win or draw for Bayern Munich and over 2.5 goals in that game. Sounds so an idea. Esperance de Tunis and Chelsea game no a straight win for Chelsea. Code no BFPY.
Okay, mimi de no so say net here. Oakland City ane Boca Juniors first half of 1.5. Bayern Munich ane Benfica over 2.5. Chelsea ane Esperance de Tunis Chelsea straight win. Dortmund ane Alsan Hyundai FC Dortmund win. Fluminense ane Mamelodi Sundowns Fluminense win or draw. Canada ane El Salvador Canada straight win. And Honduras ane Curacao eno under 4.5 under 4.5 nti eno enso meme so me options no nti we ene ye os no ti the code ni nyina begu channel ni mu na afi won de ekone de nyame adoma ochina ye besa aba na afi de akachiri ni nyina ye de abrem within the list to all Vincent Benedict nkasa so asaka saka adoma bomanu uso ene ayekode virus ni 36 munya wa ase nyame adoma ochina besa echa yakra
17